how to help your partner become sober, quit drinking alcohol, quit smoking weed, quit doing drugs, quit smoking tobacco, whichever it is. If they want to change, if they want help, or if you want to change them, you want to help them, then welcome in, fam. Much love. Trav here. Going to be a very interesting and extremely useful video based off of research, reading a lot of books, and living a lot of life and watching life lived. So yeah, welcome in on this beautiful Sunday morning. If that sounds good to you, make sure to watch to the end. I always drop the best step at the end. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button if you're ready for this, and share it with somebody. Okay, so you have a partner, someone you're close with, who has drug abuse problems. If they drink too much, if they smoke too much, or they're doing different drugs, then what can you do? How can you help them? How can you support them in becoming sober? So the first thing to think is, like, do they want help or do they not want help? And why do you want to help them? And we're going to get into the reasons why people abuse, and which is going to really help you have a strategy, different things that you can do to support them in changing. But you can't really help someone that doesn't want to be helped. If they don't want to quit, then you can't necessarily help them, and you have to decide. You can maybe show them, you can maybe become sober yourself and show them, and it will cause them to want to quit. And that's the first step for anything that you're doing. But if they really don't want to change, then you either need to accept them, or you need to move on and choose your next partner as someone who is either sober, doesn't have drug abuse problems, or wants to be sober, right? So in this case, we're imagining where your partner is coming to you and says, I want to clean up my life, I want to be healthier, I want to be sober, I want to feel better, I don't want to waste my time, energy, the drugs are causing me problems, it's causing me to be irritable, it's affecting my health. Can you help me? Okay, so whatever you do, the first reason that people, what are the reasons that people smoke, people drink, people do drugs, people hurt themselves? The first reason is that it's a model. It's the natural model. And then the other reasons are boredom, loneliness, anxiety are the main things. But let's start with model. What I mean by that is, we see on TV, oh, it's normal for people to drink. Or my mom smoked her whole life, so that's normal. So I just do what's normal. It's the model, right? So it's very important. The first thing that you can do to help anyone become sober, quit anything, is become sober yourself. Quit your own drug use and drug abuse. Why? Well, one is, you can't ask anyone to do something you're not willing to do yourself. So you can't say, I want you to be sober, when you're not. You can't say, I want you to quit drinking alcohol when you're smoking weed, right? It's important for that bargaining chip, but it's more important for the model. The first thing that you can do to support them is to give them an alternate model, right? Where they see you. What's up, Barney? Giving them an alternate model where they can see you as somebody who quit, right? Not just somebody who's sober, but someone who's quit. Most people don't have someone they can look to. They don't even have a model of someone they can see. They want to, but they don't know how. So the first thing you can do is just show them how, by doing it yourself, right? Becoming sober. And I speak this from my own experience, and my own quitting and becoming sober has helped many people. It's helped people I've been in relationships, it's various different kinds of relationships with, but you as well. The biggest thing that I've done, and for those of you who watch my video, right, to help you quit, is to share my own story. Here's how I quit. I used to smoke weed every day. I used to drink on the weekends. I used to do some different recreational drugs occasionally. Now I cleaned up, right? So offering that model is by far the most powerful and most important thing. And this is also how you can convince someone. If they don't want help, I said, hey, you have to accept them who they are, or choose to walk away and choose someone who's healthier or wants to be healthier. But you can also convince someone. If you're going to convince someone, not by nagging them, not by telling them, but by doing it yourself and shining so greatly, being so healthy, feeling so good, having so much success, feeling so happy, being so well adjusted that people can smell the change on you and say, man, what did you do? I want that. Okay? So whatever you do, the first thing, the most important thing is for you to become sober yourself, okay? Now, moving on, what other reasons do people use and abuse? Loneliness and boredom go together, and this is a huge reason for a lot of people. And for me, this is the main reason that it's one of the big reasons. That's probably these together are most of the reasons that I would smoke weed every day. One is boredom, is like just not enough to do, not as many alternatives. And loneliness is, well, I want to talk to someone, let me call up a friend who smokes. This is how I know how to relate, right? So if that's true of your partner, and if this is your way of relating with each other, you drink together, you smoke together, you quitting and you becoming sober can be seen by them as a threat to your relationship, because like they're like, oh man, am I gonna have to change, or what are we going to do together now? So it's important that to help them, because they also, the part of quitting, you know this, you're going to learn this as you sober yourself, is that as you sober, you have to quit certain relationships, you have to quit certain things that you do. Your partner's going to have to go through this, and it's going to be hard for them. It's going to mean maybe cutting off some friends, cutting off some relationships, cutting off some hobbies. So what you can really do to ease that is inviting them into your life, into your healthy hobbies and the things that you do that give them an alternative, so they have companionship, so they're not lonely, and they have fun activities, so they're not bored. So to throw out some examples of things you can do, it could be working out together, inviting them to work out with you, inviting them to read books or play board games or games with you, working on different projects, working with animals, whatever it is. Just some activities that you go on hikes. It could be, massage, touch, physical intimacy, sex, just things that you can do together that are going to fill the void of the quitting, because that's a lot of the reasons people relapse also is they're bored, and they're bored and they're lonely. So giving them companionship and things that they can do is going to help a lot, where they're not going to be as tempted, they're not going to be needing. Okay, now another reason that people use and abuse is anxiety. It's a way for them to handle anxiety. Is I'm stressed out, so I'm gonna turn to something which is gonna maybe relax me a bit. So there's two sides of stress. The first one is the real life causes and triggers. Is I'm stressed because I'm broke and I've got bills coming up and I need the money. I'm stressed because my car broke down. I'm stressed because I'm have a poor relationship with my boss right now. I'm stressed because a lot of the stresses are money, a lot of the stresses are social. And the second side of stress is, what do I do to resolve the stress? So as a partner, a lot of the things that you can do to what can you do to alleviate your partner's stress by making yourself more secure financially is something that you can do. Is just being better financially, also resolving social problems, helping them resolve social problems, talking through certain things. A lot of stress reduction of the touch and the meditation and having different things to do when you're triggered is great, but how can you reduce through strategically, why is there stress, why is there anxiety, how do we reduce it down, what can we do, how can I come in and make us more financially secure? Should I earn more money? Can I get us better food so that we're eating better? The body knows that we're healthy, we're okay, we're safe, we're not eating junk. Those could be examples of things to reduce stress. So much of stress is financial. It's not like money makes you happy, but you can't buy everything with money. But when you're broke, you can't buy anything, right? Poverty buys nothing, and there's a lot of stress associated with that. Stress reduction, okay, how can you help reduce the stress when it comes up? Encouraging healthy habits, whether that's exercise, whether that's meditation and breathing and breath control, whether that's getting a nice pet like a dog, a cat, the exchange of touch, giving massage, these sorts of things, so that helping cultivate healthier ways of reducing anxiety as it comes up. So that's another thing that you can do that's important. And the last thing that I would say, unless something else pops into my head, but for now, the last thing that I would say is accountability. And part of the accountability is setting boundaries, right? So, and first you're setting boundaries with yourself. It's like, I quit, I set my boundary. I don't eat junk food, I don't eat donuts, I don't smoke weed. You can ask me, you can offer me 100 times. I'm gonna say no. It might make you mad, but what it's gonna do also is it's gonna show you how to set boundaries for yourself. It's gonna show you and help you, give you a model for how you can set boundaries. So holding accountable is, okay, there's more. I've got something even better after this. Holding accountable is not always fun, but it means calling out and investigating and asking and being real. And I think it's important, and you learn this when training animals, is try not to shame, try not to punish, but point out the things that are done wrong and try to focus mostly on reward and praise for doing the things right. It's not coming from a place of guilt, but coming from a place of love, a place of, I care about you, you're a part of me, I want you to be healthy, I don't want you to hurt yourself, it's important, I don't want you to get sick and die early, I don't want you to not be there for the kids, I care about you, so I'm going to hold you accountable, I'm going to help you set boundaries for yourself, and I'm going to check in on those boundaries if you've been keeping up with them. Okay? Accountability. Okay, and one more thing, perhaps the last thing, is the motivation and the inspiration of, like, why are we doing this? Why do you, it's part of being sober, but is it because you want to have kids and you need to be healthy for that, and all these drug abuse and these drug problems interfere with fertility? Or is it because you want to be there for your kids and you don't want to be fucked up around your kids? You want to break this generational cycle. You want to break this generational curse. You don't want your kids to go through what you went through. You don't want to normalize and be a negative model for them. You want to be, and the greatest thing, for instance, for me, why I've been able to do this is because, like a lot of people, there's drug abuse in my family. My dad was an alcoholic. However, after around when I was 12, he quit drinking. We had a big incident, and he started going to AA, and my mom didn't leave. She supported him, and he sobered up. So that was a model for me of how allowing me to break this generational curse, right? Which gives me the power to help other people just by being a model for how to do it. So I hope you find that useful. I hope that this makes a difference for you. Please come back and check on this video. It might be worth watching a second time. And please report with me how it goes. You can comment down below what you found useful. But if you're helping a partner get sober, clean up, improve their health, get happier, I'd like to know how it goes for you, if this advice worked for you. So please come on back, comment down below. I appreciate you, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Also, if you made it this far and you're not clean yourself, you're not sober yourself, I have a course. The course is free, and it's just a series of videos that's going to help you clean up your life, tell you more about my story and how I did it. And it's helped a lot of people, and you'll find it's not really that hard. It's fun, you feel good, you'd be happier. So, okay, appreciate you, much love, talk soon, and look forward to seeing the comments down below. Peace.